Hey, Jonathan Banks, how you doing?
EJ, what's up, man?
Yo, bro. Hey, so happy to hear you. I'm live though, by the way. I'm on my show, so anything you don't want to talk about, you can just let me know and that. You don't mind if you got time? Yeah. Hey, man, listen.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Hey. All right, listen. Hey, Jonathan, yeah, listen. This thing, yeah, I mean, you obviously seen the fight. Give us your take on the strategy, Dillian Whyte, and what you think about the whole thing. Give us your thoughts.
It's kind of difficult, man, because with me used to being having the pleasure to work with Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm always rooting for him to win. You know what I'm saying? Or at least put up a good show or something. You know what I'm saying? So that was very sad. I was sad to see what happened. And I reached out to him immediately. He reached back and whatever. So I'm happy he's okay and stuff like that. But I'm not sure what the strategy was. I don't know if the strategy was to try to go the distance or what. But I think one thing I said when people asked me about the fight before the fight happened, I said, let's not forget, Povetkin is still an Olympic gold medalist. Yeah, everybody say he 40, he this, he that. He's still a gold medalist.
Yeah.
So you can't underestimate him, is what I'm saying. You can, it seems like all these Olympians, you just shouldn't underestimate. You shouldn't underestimate nobody, but especially them, because if someone could pull a rabbit out the hat, it would be one of these Olympians.
But listen to this, Mr. Banks, yeah? So when you find a legend, to be a legend, you have to respect them, but you have to know that you have to take them. You think they were overly too respectful, and when he got knocked down twice, you was in a situation with Vladimir, right? When he knocked down AJ. Going back to that situation, when Vladimir knocked down AJ, should he have jumped on him? And in this situation, when Dillian knocked down Povetkin, should Dillian jumped on him at the start of the 5th round?
I think that Povetkin is not the fact that he was still dazed, but at the same time, if the strategy was once you get a guy hurt and he's knocked down, put more pressure on him and start letting your hands go.
Yeah.
So you can start covering up, and maybe you can catch him again, because you already know you can knock him down. You see, you can knock him down. So let's knock him down again, and let's knock him down as many times as it takes till we can knock him out. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that is a more that is more of a strategy that that's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. I would have, the first thing about it, the first rule of it, especially you got a guy that's experienced as Povetkin, you don't want his experience to make the difference. You don't want this to go to 12 rounds. You want to put as much pressure on him as possible so he can be uncomfortable and he can start doing things that he's not used to doing or he's not ready to do yet. So you're putting more pressure on him, but he got to defend himself when he usually don't defend himself. He got to start doing offense when he wasn't really ready to do offense. That's just me. That's how I would have looked at it.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you saw the knockout, the uppercut, boy, what was good? I mean, like I said to you, I feel the same way with you. I was there when you was with Dillian. I like Dillian, his journey, getting to the top, and he's right there. Povetkin looked like he took, and he was looking great, and it just got took from him in that moment. What was going through your mind at that point?
Just said, wow. I mean, things like that happen in boxing. Unfortunately, things like that happen. That's the reason why it's very important to when you get the strategy from someone, when you're with someone, you have to just make sure that this person is fully compensated. They know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about. Because as a fighter, you in the ring fighting, and the worst shots is the shots that you don't see coming. You get hit with that you don't see, and that's one of those shots that I don't think nobody thought about that shot because that's one of the last shots. That's the only way that usually when Dillian get hurt, if he was to get hurt, those only 2 shots that ever hurt him. It's the right uppercut from NJ and the left uppercut from
Povetkin. Yeah.
Povetkin.
100%. And you know the thing is, yeah, when I look at that, yeah, it shows you the heavyweight boxing. As you know, as a heavyweight boxer yourself, is that the punch, man. The heavyweight box, you could be outboxing someone, but then they can land a punch and just erase everything in the heavyweight division. It's like no other division.
Yeah,
right?
Because the power is the last thing to go.
100%.
If you're a true puncher, your punching power is the last thing to go.
Okay, so let's talk about, he's got a rematch clause in December. Now, let's say you're his head coach. I'm not saying you are going to be. If you was coming in and you take the rematch, would you take the rematch? And how would you change him? And what would you be your game plan if you had that opportunity?
I can't really comment on the rematch part because I'm not sure because I'm not in that predicament. I'm not sure what I would say to them because, like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we would have been in that predicament in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to put myself there and then say how we gonna dig ourselves out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. But if he keen on taking this rematch, the first thing I would do is let him know, like, number one, 2 things. You can't let Povetkin have his way. You can't easily just back up and let him come forward. You must make this man uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You started off jabbing him. I think Dillian Whyte got one of the best jabs in the business right now. And I think he's one of the most talented guys. But at the same time, like I was saying, when he was with Povetkin, when he started touching with the jab, Povetkin started fighting that jab. And that's how he started getting caught with those shots. Because he started fighting his jab. He started looking out for the jab. Boom, he got with the right hand, he got caught with a hook on the temple. That should have been done more often and it should have been more consistent with it because he was doing good with that.
Boy, it's a hard pill to swallow. He's got the rematch. I know it's if us over in the UK, it's people still in shock. The Wilder thing's gone out the window. The Fury and Wilder for now anyway. And Povetkin is going to be coming back into this fight overly confident now, isn't it? That he can do that again, right?
Of course. Especially with a fight happening that soon. That's really soon for a fight to happen. If it's something like in December and it's not even like, man, that is, to me personally, I think it's too soon, but if he feels strong, he feels ready to go, there's nothing you can say about it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, because I feel bad for him and I feel bad for Dillian Whyte in a way, in the sense of he's been at this mandatory position for almost 5 years. And he's the only one that ever got to a mandatory position like this that never got a standard shot. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You didn't need to fight the fight. This
is nuts to me. And they keep giving him hard fights after hard fights after hard fight.
Yeah.
And he's the mandatory challenger.
Yeah.
This should never have happened. This fight should have never took place unless it was for his title, the first title defense or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was a voluntary, so he didn't have to take it. He could have sat and wait. He could have sat and waited for the WBC.
But for what? You got to understand something. You already got guys in quarantine. Now you're getting them sitting away even longer. Like, this man wants to fight. I don't blame him. He wants to fight. All he's saying is, let me fight. I'm the mandatory challenger. I did the work. I got to be a mandatory. Why won't nobody let me fight for the title? That's the real story here. Why wouldn't nobody let this man fight for the title? Yeah. He should have been fought for the title.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Wilder didn't want to. I think they wanted him to fight Brazil. They wanted him to fight this guy, that guy, and Povetkin wants to the title.
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
Listen to this, okay? You are controlling this show.
Yeah.
This is your show, right?
Yep.
And when you have someone that you want on the show, you do the homework and you get them on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is what you feel is best. This is something that your fans basically want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you got certain people that's earning certain things, so you want people that earn something on the show. You don't want people that didn't earn nothing, because what you gonna talk about? You know what I'm saying? You got more to talk about when you got people on the show that earned something to be in the position they're in. So therefore, this man earned his position that he's in. It wasn't given to him. He earned every ounce of this position that he was in. So why haven't he got it? To me, that's the bigger story than anything else, because that's the only reason I feel bad for him, because he should have been got this type of shot.
Yeah, you can't deny that. He definitely deserved his shot at the WBC title. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. You know when when Vladimir fought Povetkin, right? At that time, yeah? Povetkin. Yeah. What was the strategy to beat with Vladimir to fight Povetkin? What was, give us some information on that one. How did Vladimir defuse him?
The start of the camp, the strategy was to be a little physical with him, push him around, and start hitting him to hurt him, because I predicted him being very aggressive. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you can't drop him, but you just have to be aggressive, so it's not like he's chasing after you or you're running from him. Because he will come to you. He have no problem coming to anybody. The dude is pretty much all heart. Doing the mid-camp, he said, you know what, I want to do something different. I said, what's that? He said, I just want to move a box. I'm thinking about moving box. I possibly can get it. I said, well, you can't do that. But I'm trying to tell you how I'm looking at it from a sense of, I think you should be able to knock this kid out. So those are the two different strategies he had. First, to start boxing him. Then once he starts stepping down, if he get aggressive, then start being a little rough to him, start stepping to him with his jab. I said, because he gonna look out for your right hand, big time. So you start shooting your right hand and shoot the jab right behind it. And a lot of them times that when he did that, he stopped Povetkin right in his tracks, snapped his neck back, stopped him in his tracks. Because as soon as he slipped the right hand, but he didn't slip the jab because he didn't think that was coming. He was just looking for a right hand from Russia.
Okay, so you're trying to say you kept him busy making him think, so he couldn't time you.
Exactly. So that was the strategy, is to move and have you go ahead and do your boxing. That's fine, but once he get warmed up, he think he used to you by the second round. Now you gotta start putting pressure on. You gotta change it up.
Okay.
Because once this kid get comfortable, he's gonna start creating some of everything. He's gonna create problems as long as he's comfortable. And that's just not him. That's anybody. They get comfortable. The more comfortable they get in there, the more creative they can be. The more durable they become. That's why you can't the goal is not let your opponent get comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. Don't let them get comfortable.
Wow. So that's really good insight, because it seems like, I don't know if the team had two game plans, but you obviously had two game plans with Povetkin. Once to box him, and if he tries to come in and get aggressive, rough him up inside. I think that's why.
Yeah, I had like three or four game plans, because I went over some of everything. I don't know. You don't know. Once you walk to that ring, leave that locker room, it's about too late. Any other strategy you wish you could have thought about, it's too late. Because by the time you leave the locker room, a couple seconds later, next thing you know, the bell gonna ring and you gotta go. It's time to fight. So, you know what I'm saying? It's too late by that time. Yeah. So, I was taught by the late great Dillian Whyte, I was taught to go over everything. You go over everything as almost possible, because the one thing nobody can guarantee you is what's gonna happen on fight night.
Yeah. 100%.
Since can't nobody guarantee you what's gonna happen, you go over everything.
Oh, that's some real insight that I'm gonna take with me You know what I'm saying? I take with me and stick with me. Let's go back to the fourth round, end of the fourth round. Dillian's knocked him down twice in the round, the 10-7 round.
He definitely knocked him down twice.
Yeah, and then in the corner. So Dillian, in the corner, what they told him to do, take your time and, you know, keep snapping his head back, keep jobbing. Do you think that was the right thing to say? Or do you think, you know, you've not...
I would have, like, once you knocked him down, I would have jumped up and yelled and said, jump on him.
Yep.
I said, jump on him. You know, because you knocked him down. So you got his respect. So you got to think about this. What goes in the fighter's mind most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, once I feel my knee on this canvas, or my back on this canvas, you got my respect. Okay? I respect you now, but you don't want that type of respect because now I got to come get you because I don't have long. Because if you hurt me again, the referee may look at me and say, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I look all the pressure you putting on me. Now I'm forced to do something that I wasn't planning on doing. I got to do it sooner. You know, so while I'm rushing while that mental focus in my head is rushing and trying to put a plan together to do something right away, I'm about to jump on your ass. I'm about to jump on you. So your thoughts is gonna keep on thinking emergency thoughts.
Yeah.
Now you go into a survival mode, and your body is covering your face up because you're trying to survive now. You know, you don't have time to put those shots together because I'm not giving you that time. So taking your time, to me, I thought that was a bad move.
Yo,
I thought that wasn't good advice because one thing about it, when you get any fighter I ever been with, when they got to do hurt, I told them to finish them. Whether they listen or not, my comment, finish them. That's always been my comment. That's always been my method. When you get a dude hurt, you finish them. It's a story, it's an old saying. The late great man school used to say, a lot of older guys around the gym used to say it. They said, when you get a dude drunk, that's when you mug. You don't mug no sober guy. You get him drunk. Once you get him drunk, then you mug him. So when you get a guy hurt, he's gonna wobble his legs, you finish him. That's when you get him.
I think that's where I think the respect, they were overly respectful because he's a legend. They were still on that game plan. It's like, yo, this guy's folding up. He gonna be on it. Yo, and jump on him and get him out of here. I think Manny was doing that to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said to Lennox Lewis. Yeah. He said only don't.
He busted him so bad.
Yeah, like he went in and Lennox. What the heck you gonna stay in and get caught with something? No, you get him out of here. Yo, that was and he was going off for Lennox. Was like, yo, he put real urgency.
Right, he was saying, he was basically telling them, don't give this man a chance to win.
Yeah.
We know he's great. We know he's a puncher. Okay, but don't give him. Let him take the opportunity, but don't give it to him. You know, and that was the whole message behind that. But I just, like, for me, I truly feel that. Going back to Dillian Whyte, he's one of the most outstanding fighters, heavyweights in the division, and kid is talented. He's a hard worker.
Yeah. And
I do believe he has the ability, you know, to be something. So hopefully he come back from it and everything will be fine, you know. But just to take it easy with a veteran, I don't think that was the right thing to say.
Yeah,
because he's been a dangerous veteran for a very long time.
And he's gonna. I think
very long time.
I think he's gonna be better now in the rematch. Now I think he's gonna be better. I think when he went back to Russia, they laid the red carpet out for him. I saw the press was out there for him, and he hasn't had that for a while. He ain't had that since he's been a champion. So they're happy that.
Listen, man, he haven't had that for a long time.
He likes it, but
it's been a long time. Last time they gave him all that, he was fighting against Eddie Chambers.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Was a hard fight.
That's how long ago this was.
Yeah. I was listening to Teddy Atlas.
It's been a long time.
Teddy Atlas, breakdown was I think he had an analogy as a car. You know, you see Dillian as a young fighter. You need to start fast and keep pressure on the young guy, and eventually the car will break down. But he looked like Povetkin was he looked like his door was falling off. like it was breaking apart right in front of Dillian. You know what I mean? So,
well, from what it looked like to me, I can agree with that analogy.
Yeah.
Because again, this is the problem with most of these guys on a world class level. Why are you there? Number one, because if you on the world class level telling somebody to take your time with a veteran, no, you speed things up with a veteran. Make things fast, make the pace faster for him.
Yeah.
Look what Oscar did to Chavez.
Yeah.
He sped it up. He started fighting faster because he knew Chavez is a legend. And if I let this man get comfortable, he gonna kill me.
100%.
So he sped it up. And he started reacting faster. So Chavez could tire faster so he could gain something. And that was his crossover fight to big stardom.
100%, man. 100%.
And then years later, when Floyd fought Oscar, Floyd sped it up. Because he knew he was fighting an older Oscar, but Oscar had one thing in his arsenal. He had a good jab. So he said, Floyd knew if he started fast and he moved faster and started punching faster, Oscar won't be able to keep up with that because he's not that guy like he used to be. So Floyd was able to get that victory. That was his crossover. You know, so it's always, you know, like that. You know, I think that when these young guys fight these veterans, you know, you don't gotta just walk around like they walking around. A lot of times you just speed up the process. Start jabbing faster, start moving a little faster, start being more active. Because they don't have the same reaction time as you. But you gotta allow them to see that. And you gotta prove that. Because they cannot go there's no way they're gonna step back and say, okay, look, man, you too fast. No, you gotta prove it to them.
Wow. 100%, man. And let's talk about your other charge, Ceci Breakers. You wasn't with her in that fight she had recently, right?
No, of course not.
Hey, yo, go ahead. So she lost her belts against Jason McCann. What was your take on that fight? And how come? I don't know if you want to tell us why did you guys part ways?
Well, number one, I was sad that all the work I put in. I think we was together 9 to 10 fights, whatever. I was sad all the work I put in to see her. I mean, I don't take nothing away from the girl. The girl was a hard fighter. She came in, she fought her butt off, and she wanted the titles. You could tell she wanted to fight. She wanted to win. You could tell that. But it was sad. It was sad to see, you know. But you said why we parted ways? Well, when I started training G, she felt that I wouldn't have time to work with her. And I said, well, that's definitely not true. And she said, well, she felt I wouldn't have time, but she chose to go somewhere else.
It was handshakes.
Yeah, I mean, I heard rumors before I talked to her about, you know, certain things, but I didn't know for a fact where she was going or something like that. But, you know, she chose to go. She chose to part ways, and I just told her I wish her all the best. She's a good fighter. She has a legendary career. You know, I was sad to see her lose to the person she lost to, and for the lose period. You know, I was really sad to see that. I didn't like that at all. You know, so
yeah, that's very unfortunate. Let's talk about Triple G. Who did he fought recently? That Russian guy. A lot of time people talking about the fight.
Dimitrenko.
Yeah, like, you know, that fight. People, you know, they're talking about the fight. They think he's getting old. And what's up? What you know? What tell us about that fight and what's happening with Triple G? Who's he fighting next?
He got a mandatory coming up next. I forget the kid's name. Is Povetkin. I'm sorry, I forget his name.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody said the same thing because normally everybody going about the typical things that happen in boxing. When you get a certain age, they call you old. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think none of it. You know, the they call him, oh man, he old. What everybody anticipating looking at Mike Tyson for it. You know what I'm saying? If 37, 38 old, what is 50? Well, what is 48 and 40, 47, 48? Or 50, or 52, 53? What is that?
It's true.
You know, I just don't think you can have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Either you got somebody in boxing and you saying 37, 38, oh man, you old. Or you call somebody that's in their 50s, either they old. So one of the two. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it, yeah, man, he 37, he ain't got a bit to fight, he old. And you gonna prove somebody in their 50s to fight.
Yeah, so boy,
I'm just saying I don't think you can have it both ways. But dealing with G, he hopefully he get a date soon and he can get ready for his mandatory. And let that be that.
Yeah,
that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, because I know the Charlo brothers. I know the Charlo's brothers want peace. And I was like, yo, people, you know, some people in the state, they want to see the Charlo brothers versus Triple G or Boo Boo. They want to
I hear all that, but those conversations ain't came across. I ain't seen no paperwork that said that. But why would G be scared of anybody? Look at his resume. He got no reason to be scared of somebody. That's the only thing I don't like when people always bring up other opponents. They say, well, why you fight this? Why you fight? I'm like, listen, the business part of it, number one, I don't have nothing to do with it. Number two, they don't have nothing to do with it. So no, they don't know why. They just know it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But by all means, neither fighter is scared of the other. For what? They're all fighters. What they got to do is be scared of each other for? You know what I'm saying? It's just so happened the fight haven't happened yet. But fear has nothing to do with it.
Well, that's good. Well, that's
that I can guarantee you. These guys, all these guys, they are world level, world class guys. What the heck they got to be scared of another man for?
Triple G's still the guy in the middleweight division, and you know, how's training going with him? And you know, you guys have had longer time to be with each other. How's it going? Because you know you're still, you know,
training is going great. Everything is good. I know you said something about Mike Tyson. I got Badu Jack fighting on the Mike Tyson show as well. So that'll be a good.
You training Badu Jack?
That'll be good.
You training Badu Jack? You training Badu Jack? Oh, you training Badu Jack? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so who was he? He was trained by DeBello. He's still Badu Jack's still with Mayweather, right?
Mayweather's motions. I think that's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so how's the training going with Badu Jack? And you know what I mean? And
everything is good with him. Everything so far so good. We're looking forward to this show that's going to happen on the 28th of November. But we're looking for hopefully G fight before that, and then we can just go off that. That'd be cool.
Yo, so the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones thing is actually still going ahead because we know it postponed. So the date's back on. I think you got Jake Paul versus.
They said it's November 28th.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's what's up.
That's what I was told.
Yo,
we were just with Tyson this weekend. We were just with Tyson yesterday.
Oh yeah, what was that? A media event?
Yeah, it was a media thing. We went to his ranch. We talked to him, shook his hand, and he was. Tyson always been a really good dude, man. So going to see him again, talking to him, it's always a great pleasure, man. He was happy to see us. He was a good dude, man. It was me, me, Badu, and Badu's people. We went down there to see him and talk to him and stuff. So it was cool.
So, what do you think is going to happen between him and Roy Jones? How do you think that's going to go about? I heard they're in headgear and that. It's like a 10-round headgear. It's quite... You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Man, listen, I have no idea. To be honest, because the one thing I know, the older you get, and the longer you've been an actor for a long time, it is hard to go start doing them rounds over and over again. By the time you got 6 rounds there, your legs start shaking. It's just not the same. As it was when you was younger. You didn't think about the minutes and the rounds. You just seemed like the bell rang. Man, the round just started, bell ringing already. But no, them might will feel like an hour apiece. And they just there, so I don't know. One thing I do, I just wish both of them a healthy outcome, and they both is good after the fact, after their little exhibition thing. I just really hope so, because both of them are really good guys, man.
Yeah.
Like, really, really nice. They just nice individuals. They're just nice guys.
100%. So you got any other fighters in your stable? So you got Body Jack, obviously you got Triple G. You got any other pros, or are you just working with them two so far? In a minute.
So far just them. I got a couple other guys that we talking to right now, but haven't made a commitment yet. We haven't decided what we go do yet. So I won't mention them until once we get all of the particulars down and everything is finalized.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, listen, Mr. Banks, man, it's always a pleasure. I'm gonna end you in that, but hey, listen, I'm glad you called me back though, because we were, me. That's the thing about you. I remember the time when I come down there, and I've interviewed before when you was active as a pro, and we're glad I'm here, and like you was always willing to give me time. Obviously, when the time with Dillian,
you're a good dude, so I try to surround myself and keep contact with good people. So that is always a pleasure, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I know this funny thing is like Dillian, me and Dillian Dillian don't talk to me no more too much because he didn't like my critique of him. But I always wondered, like, if you would have been with him, during his whole career, and I always thought, like, boy, like the two of you working together, you look like you was bonding very well, man. It's a shame that
Yeah, we was. I agree.
You parted ways because it looked like a perfect kind of blonde because he's young and young, wild, and you was just like, yo, no. Sit down, you do this, that, the other. I saw the time you took.
Right.
It was nice, but you never know in this boxing thing how things are. But
one thing I will tell you this before you go. I will tell you this.
Yeah, go
ahead. A lot of fighters, especially when you get in there displaying your craft and you work your butt off, a lot of them don't take kind to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
A lot of them that's just most people in regular 9 to 5s. They don't take kindly to constructive criticism. It's just all about, because first thing they do, if it's coming from a regular employee that's sitting next to them,
okay,
they say, oh, you ain't gonna be talking to me. But if it's coming from the CEO, they know, I like you, but you need to change this and that.
Yeah,
they take it totally different. Okay. So a lot of it just depends on who it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way, not just the world is, but a lot of people are wired that way. Only take criticism from certain people. So it goes like that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, like I said, I was there, Dillian's journey, and and it's just I just come across. I said he didn't really like. I said, and then from then on, it was like the relationship was there. Because I could call him like I call you and see what's going on. But as it is now, right now, Dillian, it's got a lot of people around him. This is a time when he needs people around him telling the truth about what it is, and I don't think that someone like yourself with this cold-blooded, you tell him what he needs to hear. What does he want? What does he need to hear at this point? The truth, Jonathan Banks. The truth. Does he need this rematch? Yes or no? What would you do with him? What truth would you say to him at this point? Because he doesn't need it. He doesn't need your truth.
Me personally.
Yeah.
Me personally, for the benefit of the fighter, do he need the immediate rematch? No.
Okay.
No, he don't, because if you want to talk about the safety of the fighter, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is my professional opinion, and I'm not saying don't do anything, but asking my opinion, will I throw him back in there in this year? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't throw him back in there this year because that was a brutal shot he took.
There you go.
And if you want to save the man, I'm not thinking about the fighter right now. See, when I make a decision, I'm thinking about this individual and his family. I'm not thinking about the fighter because the fighter always gonna want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
What fighter just go say, oh, okay, let me take a round off or go ahead and put me out? Goes, no. Dillian Whyte is a warrior. he would die a warrior, man. You know what I'm saying? He's living one, he's willing to die one. You know, that's his mentality, that's his makeup. So somebody, he has to hate somebody. Somebody got to save him from himself.
100%. And
somebody has to. So, no, would I put him in there right away? No, I would. I would give him at least 4 or 5 months with nothing to do. Go sit on the beach somewhere, go relax, take your mind away from this, because you got to recover. You know, you could do workouts or do boxing workouts. You know, just let this die down. Let your tissues in your head recover. Because January, February, when you come back, you go come back nonstop. And you could be like a raging bull. But again, that's me.
Yeah, but that's why I want to hear, because I know you. That's how you are. You're a straight shooter. You're a straight shooter, and I think
you gotta care. You gotta care about the human.
Yeah.
We ain't fighting fighters. We got humans that's born fighters, but at the end of the day, they're still human. So you gotta care about that human. You gotta care about him. And you gotta take every safety precaution for him to be successful after the bright lights is off him. That's the goal. To make sure he can function with his family, he can be a decent member of society.
100%, man. And
that's always the goal.
Yeah, you listen, man. That's they can't even say more than that. I think you're saying the stuff that people need to say, and I think Eddie was trying to tell him at the time, and it seems like Dillian's kind of calling the shots, and everyone's just going along with him, but he needs to be told the truth. You know what I mean? Now, I understand if he's worried about his number one position, but end of the day, your career is at this point. If you lose this fight in a devastating thing, then your career is over. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to at least preserve him as a man, and keep his career going long. So I
tell you one story real quick.
Yeah,
tell you this real quick. One of the best warriors, one of the hardest fighting warriors in the world. Okay. Now, can he rule an empire? No. Can he defend an empire? Yes. The emperor calls on one specific warrior when he wants someone to fight a battle, because he's won all wars. But he can't negotiate anything because all he's thinking about is war. Everything is going to benefit him because all he wants to go towards is war. That's why you have certain people that are for the battlefield and certain people are for the boardroom. Because the ones on the boardroom don't think about the battlefield. The ones on the battlefield is not thinking about the boardroom. So you have to have place value. You have to have place value. So, and every decision you make can't lean towards I'm about to go knock this dude out, because sometimes on your way to that journey of trying to knock somebody out, you may come past a stump or a hole in the ground, and you got to be thinking about the now so you can go around it and eventually get to where you want to go. That's what you call a team. You got a team around you to protect you from little things so you can keep going and fulfill your dream. That's what fighters need. That's why they have teams around them. And that's the makeup of a camp. That's the definition and the makeup of a camp. That's why you have a team around you. So they can do those things.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's 100% right there.
But when a fighter is running everything, what can you do?
Yeah.
Everything will be leading towards the fighter. The fighter is because he's on his journey to try to knock somebody out. Every decision is gonna be thought about. I want to knock somebody out, so it ain't gonna be a strategic decision. So that's the reason you have the board people, you have the boxing people.
What sparring partner should he, if he's gonna go in? What sparring partner should he bring in? Because apparently he was sparring one sparring partner for over 100 rounds. I mean, he had some others, but I think the main sparring partner was this Babish guy. What kind of sparring partners would you bring in, to emulate Povetkin styles? Obviously, you know, when Vladimir was fighting, what guys did you bring in to
Man, I had a lot of guys in there.
Yeah.
Even Dillian Whyte was in there for Quebec. And their styles are totally different.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not so much of when I break a guy down, I try to see what he does best. And not only what he does best, what is he doing more consistent than anything? And I said, okay, I need my guy to be able to be sharp as possible. So I bring in the guys that can make my fighters move and be sharp. Because I want my guys with rhythm and I want him sharp on him looking good. You know, so that's what I was trying to get when I bring in guys in. So this man ain't gonna be able to do what he want to do with you because of your sharp movement, because of your head speed, and different things like that. So, I mean, I look at some of everything. I have guys his height, and I got guys that's a little taller than him. So I got different shapes of guys, skinny guys, thicker guys. I got different type of guys in there because you don't know. We can't guarantee which Povetkin is going to show up on fight night. He may be a brawler. He may have jump back and try to launch it with some punches. You don't know. So you cover every single base that you could think of.
Yeah.
As long as you covering all the bases, you could walk. It's easier to walk to the ring confident.
Okay, yeah, because I think they were watching footage of Povetkin back in the days and not looking at his current thing on Michael Hunter, who jumped on him from the start, and it looked like, you know what I mean? The current Povetkin, you know, it looked like he was falling apart, but as it seemed, boy, there's still something left in the old dog yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Mr. Banks. Yo, Mr. Banks, man. Look, really appreciate you and all your work. We look forward to seeing your fight with Triple G if you come up soon against the Manchuri, and definitely on the Mike Tyson card with Badu Jack, man. Anything else you want to say?
No, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Definitely, man. Keep up the good work, brother.
Yo,
I appreciate you.
You too, man. Thanks very much, Jonathan Banks. We'll talk soon. Take care, my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Jonathan Banks, people, man. Boy, listen, you never know who's going to turn up, boy. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a really good insight interview. Let's call Mr. James Bashir because he called me.